You're driving, or sitting at your desk, or maybe just staring at the ceiling, and a song comes on. And in this specific moment, it reaches into your chest and physically grabs you. The song ends, and before the next track can start, your thumb is already moving. You hit previous, you play it again, and somewhere around the 14th time, you realize you're not stopping. By the end of the day, you've listened to a 3-minute and 22-second song 45 times in a row. At the end of the year, your Spotify Wrapped reveals you played one specific track 800 times. Your friends screenshot it. They laugh. They ask how you aren't completely sick of it. And sitting there, you wonder, just for a second,
is something wrong with me?
Why can't I just let a playlist run? Why does my brain hold on to one song like it's the only one left on Earth? Here is the answer. And once you understand it, the embarrassment dissolves completely. Society tells us that novelty is the goal. New Music Friday, algorithmic playlists, 1,000 different sounds cycling through our ears every single day. We're expected to constantly consume the new and move on. But this completely misunderstands how human neurochemistry actually works. If you listen to the same song on loop for hours or days or weeks, you do not have limited taste. You are not boring. You are not broken. You are engaging in a highly specific, subconscious act of self-regulation. Your brain isn't just listening to music. It is using audio to manage a nervous system that the modern world has pushed to its edge. Let's talk about exactly what is happening inside your brain when that repeat button becomes non-negotiable. Your brain is fundamentally a prediction machine. From the moment you wake up, your prefrontal cortex is burning enormous amounts of energy trying to anticipate what comes next, what people want from you, what the day holds, what might go wrong. It is exhausting, and it never fully stops. When you play a new song or shuffle a playlist, your brain has to work. It processes unfamiliar lyrics, predicts tempo shifts, calibrates to a new emotional tone. That takes cognitive energy you may not have. But when you put a single song on a seamless loop, something fundamental changes. Your brain already knows when the drum kicks in. It knows when the singer takes a breath. It knows exactly what comes after this chord. There are zero surprises. And in a world that is constantly throwing unpredictable stress at your nervous system, this total predictability acts as a psychological anchor. Every time your brain successfully predicts that pattern, it releases a steady, quiet stream of dopamine. Not the spiking, desperate kind that comes from novelty chasing, but the deep, sustained kind that comes from safety. You are creating a closed loop of calm. The song becomes a weighted blanket for your mind, an invisible auditory fortress where nothing unexpected can reach you. This is what psychologists call auditory emotional regulation, the use of sound to actively manage your internal emotional state. And it is far more sophisticated than it looks from the outside. But not everyone loops music for the same reason. There are 3 distinct types of loop listeners, and knowing which one you are will explain a lot about how your emotional world actually works. Type 1, the emotional anchor. You put a song on repeat because you are quietly carrying an emotion too large and too shapeless to hold alone. A breakup, prolonged stress, a grief you can't quite name. You find a song that vibrates at the exact frequency of what you're feeling, and you loop it because it gives that feeling a container, a structure, a beginning, a middle, and an end. Every time the chorus swells, you get a safe, controlled release. You aren't just listening to the song, you are using it to process your own heart, 3 minutes at a time. The loop ends when the feeling does. Type 2, the flow state hacker. You don't listen to the song for the lyrics, you listen to it to erase the outside world. This is especially common in people with ADHD, deep thinkers, and anyone whose brain is both highly capable and highly distractible. You have something important to build, an essay, a design, a problem to solve, and the ambient noise of reality keeps breaking your concentration. So you find one song with the right pulse, the right energy, and you loop it until it stops being music and becomes atmosphere. The repetition acts like mental blinders. The song dissolves into a frequency your brain can ride into deep focus. It is not mindless, it is the most efficient focus tool you have found. Type 3, the nostalgic time traveler. For you, the loop is an act of return. You find a song that sounds like a specific time in your life when things felt more manageable. A summer, a version of yourself, a place you felt genuinely safe. When the present feels too fast, too unfamiliar, or too demanding, your nervous system reaches for something it already trusts. You loop the song not because you're avoiding the future, but because your brain needs to briefly visit somewhere it already knows is okay. It is not escapism, it is recalibration. You are borrowing stability from a version of yourself that already survived something hard and using it to get through what's in front of you now. People laugh at loop listeners. They grab your phone, see the play count, and shake their heads. But here is what they don't understand. If you can intuitively reach for exactly the right song at exactly the emotional moment, you possess a level of self-awareness that most people spend years in therapy trying to develop. You know your own nervous system. You know what frequency, what tempo, what specific texture of sound your mind needs to stabilize, and you provide it without drama, without substances, without falling apart. That isn't a quirk. That is one of the most quietly sophisticated emotional regulation skills a person can have. So the next time you finish a song and your thumb moves to the previous button before you've even made the conscious decision, let it. You don't owe anyone a diverse listening history. You don't owe anyone an explanation for your 800 plays. Your brain knows what it needs, and it is asking you for it clearly. Give it what it wants. So tell me, which one are you? The emotional anchor, the flow state hacker, or the nostalgic time traveler? Drop your type in the comments below. I read every single one. If this video took some of that weird guilt off your shoulders and made you feel understood, hit that subscribe button. And if you want to keep these deep dives going, hit the join button to become a channel member. It genuinely means the world. Now, if your brain regulates itself this deeply through music and repetition, there is a very good chance you also feel emotions at an intensity most people around you simply don't understand. Click the video on your screen right now to find out the real psychology behind people who feel everything too deeply, why your emotional intensity is not a flaw, and why it is one of the rarest cognitive advantages there is.